So usually when I start a painting, I have my glass palette. I usually put something under this to make it gray and opaque, but I didn't do that this time. And then my primary colors, sometimes I'll throw in burnt sienna, sometimes I'll throw in Mars black. But just it's my primary colors and white. And then my liquid, I put it in a squeeze bottle, like an old acrylic paint bottle, because liquid original comes in like, I don't know, it's just weird packaging and it's really hard to deal with. And then I have pre-cut up newspaper slices, I guess, so I can easily clean off my palette knife while I'm pre-mixing my colors, as well as clean off my brush if it gets too gloopy. And then I also have my little trash can for those little newspaper clippings. And yep, that's pretty much what I have for every painting. I have a lot of colors, oil paint colors, as you can see, that I'm not using all of, but that's mainly because for the basics, if you're painting something in nature, something natural, you would definitely use these three colors and then white, maybe black, maybe like a burnt umber. I have this burnt sienna, but I'm just really just trying to use it. But as far as my other works go, I definitely am getting very experimental with colors, which is why having a lot of colors is really, really nice, but it's not necessary, especially when you're painting from life. And then also I usually pre-sketch what I'm going to paint. And it's also pretty handy to have the reference photo. See, this is the pose she wanted me to do. And as you can see, the picture's pretty low quality, very, very fuzzy, very blurry. And so I asked her to supply a little bit better picture so I can see the dog's true colors. The colors don't differ that much, but I've seen this dog in person, and if you just look at this picture, you would think he's like brown and then maybe gray, but he's really like an orange, like a tiger color. It's like a very, like his back is more so, but his face, it's not just kind of like a gray, it's really like a tan orange. And I knew that, so I just wanted to double check. Maybe his color changed over the years. That guy's color has definitely changed over the years. Susie, come here. Show us your colors. This guy's new, so his colors haven't changed yet. It's good to have the reference photos. You can definitely use like a computer to look up your reference photo. The one thing about looking at a computer screen versus a printed thing is computer screens, because it depends on like how bright you have the screen, the color that you're visually perceiving might be a little bit off. If you're used to it, it's not a problem. It's just something to note. But anyway, there's my pre-sketch. I'm not very good at drawing, so my sketches don't always look the best, but as far as proportions, that's what I'm mainly doing, is just getting the main guidelines out before I start. And this is what my palette looks like right before I start painting. Up here are the original colors that I started off with. I did end up adding burnt sienna. And then this globby puddle, that's the liquid. And then these are just the premix colors I did. Varying shades of dark brown, varying shades of gray, kind of reddish colors for the tongue. He's got his tongue sticking out. And then some various kind of brown, lighter brown colors for the fur. And these are not strictly the only colors I will use. I will mix these as I go too. It's just more helpful for me. I'm not very good at mixing with a paintbrush. I find it easier to mix with a palette knife beforehand. It only takes like 5 minutes. Unfortunately for the painting process for this particular video, I was trying out a new camera angle and I ended up getting my hair in the majority of the footage. So this is pretty heavily sped up because of that. It's not a very good viewing time. But same process as I usually do. I'll go hit the background with a coarse hairbrush because I like how the texture looks, and then I'll start with the eyes, and once the eyes are satisfactory, I feel confident about the rest of the painting, and then I'll continue forward from darker colors to lighter colors. And another thing that I'm trying to do is trying to get it like a little bit more loose with my brush strokes, so this painting might look a little different from the other ones, but especially since the reference photo was so blurry, I thought this would be a good opportunity to try to loosen my style a little bit. And this is what a look at the finished palette looks like. A lot of times it is messier than this. This was actually a pretty clean painting time for me. A lot of times I accidentally get my elbow in the palette, so this is a lot nicer looking than usual. And I use several brushes in the process, so I don't have to stop and clean anything. And yep, that is the painting of George. I'd like to officially close the video with some examples of SUV's interruptions during the recording process. I was trying a new camera angle. Oh, Suvi. And just to show you what the finished palette, Suvi.